Hi guys, this is X Capsule Corp, and here I am, like I promised, bringing you the second video in my Underappreciated Character Analyst series. Alright, today I'm going to talk to you guys about the other character in the movie who definitely got the short end of the stick. And that character is Yamcha. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Yamcha. I like Yamcha. I think he's a great character. I love that he's in the show. I'm not a fan. Sorry to all Yamcha fans out there, but I'm not. I do, however, feel like more often than not, Yamcha gets the bad end of the deal. And unlike my last video, the Chi-Chi video, which focused more on the fans, this video, I want to kind of distribute the I want to talk about both the fan treatment and the movie treatment more equally. Because the movie treated him really bad in one respect, and then the fans treated him really bad in another respect. I'm going to start with the movie. In Dragon Ball Evolution, the movie, Yamcha is changed completely as his character. Now, Yamcha was never the strongest character in the show, but he wasn't supposed to be. None of the characters are all supposed to be the most powerful. If all of the characters in the show were the most powerful, we could just have an entire, team of clone Gokus. But nobody wants that. Nobody wants all the characters to be Goku. If all the characters were Goku, it would be boring. So all the characters are different. And what sets Yamcha apart is that, more than anything, Yamcha has a lot of heart. What I mean by this is Yamcha doesn't like to see other people in pain. He likes to stand up for people who are weak. He took Krillin's place in the Cyberman fight because he didn't want Krillin to get killed. And he's constantly trying to keep Puar out of trouble. Because Yamcha doesn't like to see other people get hurt. He has a lot of heart. And that's true for all the Z Warriors, especially, well, not all of them, but most of the Z Warriors, especially Goku, that's true for. But I feel like, excluding Goku, it's the most true for Yamcha, is that he has a really big heart and he hates to see other people get hurt. But in the movie, Yamcha's fighting ability is completely taken away. It's pretty much non-existent. Instead of being the cool desert bandit, he's really just this guy wandering around the desert trying to make a quick buck. And that's not who Yamcha is. Yamcha is a fighter who was once on par with Goku. And he has the Wolf Fang Fist. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a pretty bad-ass attack. I mean, his hands are coming at you really fast, shaped in these positions like wolf bites, and he's hitting your pressure points. He's taking you. It's an easy way to take someone down. No attack to sneeze at. It's a reason why it's his signature attack. And that's a pretty good attack. It's also really smart. It's a different approach. Instead of just like, oh, I'm going to punch you. No, I'm going to hit you in all these specific points so I can get you down. That's what it's based off of. The other part of it is that he also came up with his energy ball, which unfortunately I can't remember the name of, where he was able to shoot this energy ball out and control it to hit all these different spots. Most of the time when you fire an energy attack in Dragon Ball Z, in Dragon Ball, it explodes on contact. Yamcha's attack didn't do that. It went everywhere it wanted him to go, went into the ground, and then came up again. That was the attack. And that's a pretty cool idea. It doesn't explode on contact. That means you can hit multiple targets with the same attack, which is really cool. And it was really inventive of him. And obviously Yamcha's not the strongest fighter. But, like I said, he has those two attacks, and he has talent as a fighter. And this movie didn't give him that. This movie just made him some guy with a surfer dude accent who basically just was waiting around in the desert to make a quick buck now and then. I mean, he probably couldn't even hold a candle to Bulma in this movie, and that's just stupid. We didn't want that. He's completely useless in this movie. And he's not a useless character. I don't care what anybody says. Yamcha's not a useless character. He was very important in Dragon Ball. He was Goku's first rival, and I wanted him to be that in the movie, which he's not. They didn't even put him in his proper place as Goku's rival when he first meets, which completely sucks. I mean, why didn't they do that? That's where Yamcha deserves to be. He's supposed to be Goku's rival at this point in the series. And they couldn't do that in the movie. Why couldn't they give Yamcha the respect to be what he was in the series? Goku's first rival. Because Yamcha deserves that respect. Yes, he gets weaker as the series goes on, but that is by his own choice. He decides to stop fighting. He decides to do something different with his life. That's okay. He died and he doesn't want to die again. That doesn't make him weak. It makes him have a decision. He made a choice not to continue that life. There's nothing wrong with that. And that movie just completely took away his ability to fight. And worst of all, they took away his main character trait, which is that he was shy around girls. That's made Yamcha all the more lovable, because he was this tough, badass bandit, but he was terrified of girls. And the Vampire Lucinda made a fabulous video on this that I'm probably gonna link to in the comments, and you should check it out, because she totally explains the movie of how they messed up Yamcha's personality in the movie perfectly, and I think everybody should go check it out. Now, on the other side of things, Yamcha gets a lot of hatred from the fans. And this hatred usually comes from the fact that Yamcha is not with Bulma anymore, and Vegeta is. And I've seen so many fanfics that have Yamcha as a wife beater or an alcoholic, or he cheats a lot, or he tries to rape Bulma, or he tries to kill Bulma, and Vegeta comes in and saves the day, and Vegeta and Bulma fall in love and make Trunks. And I don't think that's fair. I think a lot of people do it because they just want Vegeta and Bulma's relationship to look more glamorous, and they can't think of a better way to do it than to just destroy Yamcha's character. But to me, I don't feel like Yamcha is the type of character who would do something like that. I mean, like I said earlier, Yamcha has a lot of heart, and he doesn't like to see other people get hurt. He wants the best for the people that he cares about, and that includes Bulma. They stay friends after the relationship ends, and they continue to have a happy relationship. In fact, I saw one fic that finally got it right, where I believe at the end of the fic, Yamcha explained how he wasn't upset that he lost Bulma to Vegeta because he got to keep Bulma as a friend and got to have her in his life, and got to see her happy and got to still be part of her life and have her be part of his life. And I feel like that's how Yamcha would feel. Yamcha doesn't like to see other people hurt. His heart would be full of so much happiness to see that Bulma was happy. And I think by the way that they're portrayed in the Buu Saga, I think Yamcha and Bulma are best friends. And I think that's what they've always been. And I don't think, in a way, there'll always be a part of Bulma that will never be as close to Vegeta as she is with Yamcha. Because they have a bond, even if they're not lovers anymore, they still have a bond. Probably a really strong bond. And I can't imagine that Yamcha would ever want Bulma to be hurt. And I can't imagine that Bulma would sit there and take it. I feel like that's just wrong. Yamcha's not a bad guy, and he would never do that. If you really think Yamcha would do that, I dare you to give me proof. I don't need to prove that he would never do that. We can probably see clearly from the show. So, people really only do it to make Vegeta and Bulma's relationship look less guilty. But I'm sorry, guys. Bulma and Vegeta had sex and had a baby. That's how it works. And Yamcha wasn't being horrible to Bulma to make it happen. I mean, Bulma and Vegeta love each other, but that comes later, guys. Don't destroy Yamcha's character to try to make Bulma and Vegeta look better. I'm sorry I didn't have a lot to say on Yamcha, but hopefully this video will do from now. Okay, guys. See you next installment when we're going to talk about Tien and Chaozu. Later, guys.